In this summer learning collection on adorthem.com, we are talking about how to keep our kids learning and making sure that they don't lose, that year's worth of education over the summer. Trying to help them start in the fall, pick up where they left off. But beyond that, I think a lot of times when we think summer learning, we feel the pressure of like, well, maybe we need to be doing math worksheets, or we need to be reading, this many books, or we need to have dedicated time each day to basically homeschool over the summer. And I think we can think outside of that box. I think summer provides a unique opportunity for us and our children to learn in different ways, to provide unique enrichment to our kids. Because when they're in school all day, every day, they're tired by the time they come home, and they might have, dance or soccer, or gymnastics, or whatever they might be doing. And it's hard to squeeze in those extra fun things that you may be able to do otherwise. So some of my ideas to encourage learning over the summer that get you outside of the house, that get you these unique new experiences. I wrote down kind of a short list, and this is something that I want to do more of this summer with my kids as well, as they get a little bit older and they get more interested in these kind of things. So things like visiting museums, whether they're children's museums or typical adult museums. Try to find some in your area, even within like a day trip drive, and you don't have to have the pressure of staying there all day or learning about each and every exhibit, but let your child kind of lead the way. If there's something that sparks their interest, let them dive deeper into that. Just exposing them to that can be really great in and of itself. And there's plenty of options. I mean, there's natural history museums, there's museums about buildings and architecture, there's art museums, just whatever really sparks your kids' interest. Try to expose them to that and give them that opportunity to learn a little bit more in that regard. Libraries can be an incredible resource. Instead of being like, we need to sit down and read this book at home, maybe you go to the library and you play board games and you pick up some new books that you wouldn't have seen otherwise. A lot of our libraries in our local area have amazing children's areas, and it's just a nice learning environment. It's a good, enriching environment, and an easy place to go, especially if you have like one of those super hot summer days where you can't be outside. Similarly, there are like science centers like near us. There's like a kid focused science place that I have been meaning to get my older son to forever, and it just hasn't happened during the school year. So things like that, where we can take a day or an afternoon, and he can go learn and experiment and be hands-on in a STEM kind of environment. Even just being out in nature itself. When we go up to the lake, our kids are learning. They're learning about the wildlife that lives there, the birds and the fish and the turtles, and how it all interacts. Last summer at the lake, we found a huge nest of turtle eggs that, that in and of itself was a learning experience. So if you go for a hike or you're just out at the park, just talking about those kind of things is valuable. Those are learning experiences. The other thing that you might be able to get a lot more in over the summer is stuff with social skills. Schedule those play dates, get out to the park, kind of get them around a different, and you can be there alongside of them, so that if they're in these social situations, you can be coaching them through it and helping them to be a better friend, and a better person. And lastly, I want to mention that learning doesn't just always have to be intellectual. Summer often provides a lot of unique opportunities to learn some new physical stuff and work on those physical development. You can run, you can bike, you can swim, you can climb. All of these things that are very important for childhood development and are just important for us as healthy human beings to get out and be active. So I encourage you that yes, it's good to have downtime. Yes, it's good to have some structure, but allow summer learning to really play to your kids' interests and enrich those experiences and build upon what they've learned in their formal school setting throughout the year, and kind of dabble in like you know, homeschool summer learning type situation. But as always, I would love to hear any of your recommendations. What do you guys do over the summer? How do you, you know, kind of sneak in those learning opportunities for your kids? And how formal or informal do you treat summer learning? We'd love to hear from you. So, with that being said, we're looking forward to the summer coming up, and we'll talk to you soon.